Okay, hello and welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, so, as a recap, because this is probably going to go up at around the same time as the other one which I've recorded, uh, our Warhammer 3 Total War Millennium Modern Warfare mod campaign has hit a bit of a snag because mods have updated and I can no longer load the campaign. And since I don't particularly feel like playing through 80 turns again for the third time, 50 turns also, to get back to where we were, I've decided that instead I am going to record and talk through some of the battles I've had recorded in game in my previous campaigns using the Millennium Modern Warfare mod. Uh, so the yeah, what am I going to say? uh, as a note, due to the way Warhammer 3 Total War, any other Total War games, handles replays, things can go wrong and not play out exactly as they were when I was playing the campaign or playing the battle myself. I have watched this battle beforehand to see that it works and that it doesn't completely break, and it seemed to do that fine. So yeah, we are going to have a look at this battle here. We are playing as the Grand Barony of Hochland with Erwin von Eiselwolden here, one of the mod's actual lords created for the mod. We have a unit of Imperial Trench Raiders here, the modern melee-focused unit, which are alright. They're there mostly to soak up damage. They have 9 armor piercing, 28 weapon damage, 34 melee attack, 38 melee defense, gold shields, which is extremely uncommon on units in the base game. I don't know if any units actually have a gold shield. They have 10% physical resistance, expendable, immune to fear, they hide in forests, and strong vigor. So, yeah, no ranged abilities, just melee axe infantry. We have 4 units of assault rifles, or assault infantry, 3 units of rifles, 3 pioneers, 1 sniper squad, 2 units of conscripts, which are basically the same as Rifle Company, except their upkeep is a bit lower. And they're in a more scattered formation, as we'll see. A light mortar pact, as well as Imperial heavy tank and heavy machine gun. No artillery. We are up against Balakor and Murga Ottweiler here, who is a legendary lord added on to Balakor's faction here. His army is, well, nothing terribly special. Lots of Brethren Spearmen. I have Bilious Thunderguff there, some Chaos Chariots of Khorne, Marauder Horsemen of Khorne, Chaos Knights of Khorne. But yeah, mostly a lot of chaff. So you can perhaps guess how the battle goes, but still, it's neat for the spectacle. We also have a Law of Heavens wizard in our army there. I was toying around with having different laws in my armies to see how they would benefit my troops. The Bright Wizard was nice in being able to buff my ranged units with flaming magical attacks. The Law of Heavens I particularly like for the Wind Blast ability, which helps with groups of enemies which are right up against my trenches, if they get that close. And also some of the other spells like the buffs, the armor debuff, it's quite useful.
It will be done.
So yeah, what are they? Oh, okay, I must have left them over there. Right, so we're positioned here. We're going to be setting up our encampment embankment over here, and the enemy are over there. waiting for their reinforcements. We'll go and have a look at them. So, here's these Brethren Spearmen. I believe these are unique to Malakor's faction. They are added by a mod. I can't remember off the top of my head which one. It might be OVN Lost Factions, but I could be wrong on that. They're like Chaos Cultists, chaffy, weak. They're there to fill in extra spaces. They do have 11% ward save. Oh, that's because of the Fires of Change. Right. The other lord they have just popped onto the battlefield, Murga Otwala, and she is busy casting spells, as she will do throughout the camp, throughout the battle. She has Lore of Zinch, some Marauders of Slanesh. Of course, we have Palaka up here, who's a pretty fearsome looking lord. What else is there? Bilious, Thunderguff, the cavalry. There are a lot of troops. They go to array across the entire map. Back at the camp, we have our machine guns up, and people are busy constructing the trenches. There we go. I am using the method I think I showed off in the campaign, where I put the basic trench which the rifle company can build behind them, and then I build the reinforced trench which the pioneers can build in front of them, sort of sandwiching them between two different trenches. Our lord is actually in an armored car, so he has a machine gun attack there, which is pretty nice, as well as a nice cushy seat to sit on. Everyone's going to be complaining about wizards. Here's the trench raiders. You can see they have gas masks on. They have these big, very plain metal shields, and a mix of axes and spiked maces. So yeah, they also have some armor on, just a breastplate on the front. So yeah, they're actually going to be pretty useful, because since the enemy is so melee focused, they're actually going to get stuck into combat, if you believe it.
Keep your heads down, men.
We have our light mortars here, who will unpack soon. Yeah, they actually have the mortars on their back.
Look out.
Yeah, there we go.
Keep your heads down. They're casting spells. Enemy wizard spotted.
What's this over here? Oh yeah, the sniper squad. They have rifles with sniper scopes on them.
Casting spells. Enemy wizard spotted.
Yes, yes, yes.
Beware the wizard.
The conscripts.
Look out. Spellcaster.
They look pretty much the same as the rifles, which is pretty good, because they have the same attack as the rifle squads. They're just a bit cheaper upkeep-wise. I think they might have... They have less armor? Let's see. No.
They're casting spells.
Less health. Slightly lower melee attack and defense. Slightly lower charge bonus. Slightly lower missile strength, apparently.
Look out. Spellcaster.
More ammunition.
Heads down, men. They're casting spells.
Oh, they don't actually have the reload ability. Okay, so they've got 60 ammunition. But that's all they've got. Whereas these guys, they have 20 ammunition. But they have 2 uses. That will get to 60 anyway. So I guess the conscripts don't reload? I don't know. So they have the same ammunition. Anyway. But yeah, you can see they're more scattered than the normal rifle companies. Ooh, and we have our heavy tank here. I believe this is based off of a World War I British design tank. It has 2 cannons pointing off to the sides there. I don't believe the turrets actually turn. They have a machine gun in the front, and also machine guns mounted on the sides, and one in the back. Along with these neat treads which go around the entire outside of the tank. And like the other tanks, It actually has a fully modeled interior
Keep your heads down, men.
with the
They're casting
crew
spells.
sitting inside there, or
Enemy
standing,
wizard spotted.
manning all the machine guns. It is also really slow. 14 speed. That's even slower than the
Enemy wizard spotted.
other tank, the medium tank, which was shown in the is shown in the other video, based off of the German box tank from World War One.
They're casting spells. Enemy wizard spotted.
So yeah, we're building the double line of trenches here, and we're actually extending the trenches up this flank, and we're going to extend it to encircle our entire position here, because there's so many enemy troops. I was worried that they would flank me from behind, so while I've used up the reinforced trenches and the basic trenches to build this front fortification here, I'm putting these the barbed wire ones along the back here, not perfectly like next to each other, but just enough so that enemy units which might try to get from behind will get ensnared on them. We also have some of the mortars set up here,
Look out, spellcaster.
which are going to be quite helpful as the enemy march towards us. You can see me arraying our assault squads up this flank, because I assumed a lot of them would end up coming from this direction over here. There's also quite a few over that way, so I figured I would put them over here and then I'd move them over that way as needed. Have a look at the map. You can see the massive line of enemy troops extending across the entire map, because apparently the AI doesn't like to do multiple ranks. It does mean all their flanking units are on the on the flanks. That makes sense. So yeah, you can see trenches up, barbed wire getting positioned along here and there. We'll just fast forward a bit here, because we're continuing to set up. I actually start placing a few of the anti-air turrets, which the Pioneer squads can do. Because, hey, the enemy haven't attacked yet. I may as well set up all that I can. These have quite a wide range of fire. 350 range, so not as great range as some of our other units. Like the mortars have 450, but as I said, very wide angled compared to the mortars, which is extremely narrow. So yeah, they can shoot against ground. They're not just shooting fire against air. So I think at this point, I'd been sitting here, my base pretty much finished, and I'm waiting for the AI to make the first move, because I'm not gonna march over there. Are you crazy? But they weren't doing anything. So, I just waiting, and eventually I got fed up, and I sent my general out, who is in a armored car, as we saw, with speed 148. So he's really fast, so he can get away if they attacked him. And that was enough to trigger them to start advancing on my lines. Much to their doom, as we'll find, because they decided to send Balakor ahead of the pack, which is not going to do very well for him.
Casting spells.
Our
Enemy
AA guns there impacting him. Cast some magic against us. Balakor is absolutely enshrouded with bullets. You can actually see all the little bullets pinging off of his body. He's pretty tough. But, so many bullets. Look at them all bouncing off of him. But, you know, sending your lord ahead, it's a brave tactic. But it's not very effective. So Balarkor is quickly dealt with, leaving a trail of blood. He got pretty close, actually. Their spellcaster is over here. She's just behind a hill, so I can't actually shoot her. But she can shoot us with her magic missiles. So she'll sit over there for a bit. As the rest of the enemy army march up behind her. My mortars seem to like targeting the enemy lord because it's a high priority. Even though it's really not doing too much against her. I think she's firing those magic missiles against my assault infantry there. I have the weird spawn and those Slaanesh marauders who, you know, burst in. Some of them survived the first volley. None survived the second. The weird spawn actually proved to be pretty tough. I think they survived a few volleys before keeling over. Flames of Zinch. That's actually pretty nasty against our troops because it's so narrow and wind spell blasting down my lines like that. That was a good cast. Murga charging forward and there she goes. More of the cultists charging forward. Our conscripts firing off at them. Our machine gun firing in. Mortars. The giant over here comes into contact with our tank, which is not actually too bad. Our tank does not have good melee attack, and the giant is doing pretty bad damage against, pretty heavy damage against it with its club. Also giving a heck of a headache to the guys inside of it. So we better focus fire it and get rid of Milius over there. It's pretty tough. We'll see how many bullets it takes to take him out. And there we go. Didn't do about half damage to my tank though. Marauders get into melee with the tank. My tank, I just tried to position, move out of the way. It doesn't care, it just moves right through them. It's got the mass to do it. They nearly get to the line, but they flee. We actually have a bit of a problem over here with these chariots of corn. We get the trench fighters engaged with them, being pretty much the only melee troop we have available to us. Because I don't want my rifles in there, even though they have melee anti-large on their bayonets. Because if they're not firing, they're not being used to their full potential. So, trench raiders in. The corn horses knocking them about, and the poison warhounds. I actually retreat my units away from this trench here, because these marauder horsemen with their flaming axes, they start taking some pot shots. I use some of the grenades against the brethren there. That's what the explosions were, which does a pretty good damage against them and frightens them off. over here. The enemy are pretty much broken off. So we just have to deal with these two flank groups. This group over here. And all this lot over here. Which they don't seem to know what to do. This is how it was during the battle. I don't know, they sort of got stuck there. And decided not to move.
We are in peril!
So, warhounds flee. Luckily we're against the edge of the map so they can retreat quickly. I moved some of my assault infantry outside of the barricades to fire down the flank there. And the chariots taking some bad damage. And there's only one left. And then soon there will be none. As he charges the fortifications, realizes he can't get through, turns around, and, well, blam. Rest of the brethren take a few shots. You misguided fools. But we can't show mercy, they're worshippers of chaos. Put my machine gun over in this flank. Because at some point, they will actually decide to charge. At some point. I think after we deal with, yeah, this unit here. I have my infantry unit of mortars turned around and firing this way. That's one of the benefits of the infantry mortars as opposed to the bunkered mortars. I can actually redeploy them. And there are 7 of them in the squad, so they have pretty good firing too.
This was not meant to be!
Okay, yep, here we go. They decide to charge. You can see I'm moving my tank up along the front line over to here. But it should prove to be not really necessary. Or as they charge, met with a withering hail of fire, they'll decide that, you know, they don't really want to deal with that. And they'll all flee. After they see Moroskan horsemen there cut down.
We'll be back!
There we go. And that is them all fleeing. And those corn horsemen there, they didn't even get into combat.
The winds blow hot!
Neat tank. And yeah, they're just fleeing off the edge of the map there. And that was the battle. You look at the damage of our units. Took about half damage. Assault infantry injured, but not too badly damaged. Rifle company, yeah, they lost like 16, but a lot more damage overall. Oh, and there we go. And there was a battle. 79 losses against their 2,500-ish. Yeah, 2,591. And they didn't even all get into melee. Oh dear, tisk tisk. Yeah, the Chaos Chariots Accord got 11 kills. Burger got 38. Mortal Horseman got 2. I am going to guess there was a fair few more friendly fire on my part there as well. But yeah, anyway, that was that battle. I'll thank you very much for joining, and I hope you join me again for the next one.